Yinka Olugbodi. I used to be the HR manager for MultiChoice. That's DSTV. I'm sure everybody knows DSTV. You know, strong media group across Africa and very strong in Nigeria. I used to be one of the pioneer staffs in MultiChoice. That was my first job right from, they were just coming into the country. And it was fun. They brought something different. That was the first digital satellite company. Then we grew up on NTA. On NTA, and you can only watch, maybe 24 hours TV, was just coming in, but you can only watch TV from like 6 o'clock, and then that's you're lucky if your father did not lock the TV up and took the key to work so that you can do your homework, and all of a sudden 24 hours TV came in, and all of a sudden, see, the world is always evolving. The world is always evolving, and so I left as HR manager for MultiChoice. I was an HR for a number of years, then went to Access Bank as head of general resources, which is a combination of HR and admin, Really, I just want to share experiences. Everybody say share experiences. One of my followers on, Freud, I'm on all social media. No, I'm Coca-Cola. You know Coca-Cola? Yes. I'm from generation to what? Generation. To generation. Apart from having a 18-year-old last born at home who is going to school in another few weeks, I've always preached this, that say you have to be relevant in every single generation. So let that be a life lesson. You have to be very relevant in every generation. You don't allow any generation to lose you by. And you have to start Christianity. What we call Christianity, is a lifestyle. You understand? We come together. We are the church. This building is not the church. This fantastic edifice, contains us. It's just a container where we all meet. At this meeting is what is called the church. Okay? And really, this meeting is not really a church meeting because we invited people from all over the place, if I'm right, sir. Okay? From all over the place. We have, and in your mind is, how do I get a job? How do I start this business? How do I scale up this business? But see, all that is still part of what is called what is calling we call. So is a lifestyle. And so, and it's a lifestyle that you grow with principles. Just as I said at the beginning, one of the things, if you look at everything that has to do with Jesus Christ, is about what? Is about making sure he has a team in place. He grew the team, he coached the team, he trained the team, he sent out the team, everything that we do, even in our own business, in our own family, we saw examples of that in Jesus Christ. I said I was going to talk about, the stages of team development, and this is very relevant, to everybody. Let me give you the good news and the bad news. The bad news is what? We are too much. Our population is just too much for everybody to get a job. No, that's the hard truth. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Our population, in terms of our numbers, we are what? We are just too much to get a job. And so, if he starts a company, okay, part of what is going to, especially in this economic time, is, how many people should I employ? Based on what? Based on the number of what? Based on his cash flow. And if he's going to employ 10 people, that means those 10 people, there must be something called what? Return on investment on those 10 people. So if I'm going to recruit 10 people, I have to make sure that, say, I have your salaries to be able to be paid. And apart from having your salaries, that means what? I have profits too. So I would rather not what? I would rather not say, oh, come and join me in this company, so that what? So that one, I can make profit, and two, so that I don't owe you. You understand? And so if there are so many people, and there are very few what? Very few positions or opportunities for people to be what? To be engaged or to be employed. Now that means what? Our unemployment what? Level is very high. But you know one thing about us? We are very resilient people. You never give up. You keep looking for that job. Okay? And then the other thing is what? Globalization has opened up the world for us. I'm not against anybody jackpotting. I'm not against it. And I won't preach it that don't jackpot. If you have good opportunity, what? Jackpot. But before you jackpot, have a plan. You understand? Before you jackpot, make sure you have what? All the qualifications. Because you're not competing against people on the national level. You know, you were competing maybe even on a state level, just employment in Lagos State, and then somebody say, oh, they want to employ, and what? You see 5,000 people, for just one position. And then the national level is what? Oh, Custom wants to employ. All of a sudden, you see 5 million people looking for 500 jobs. You know that competition is very what? But now your competition is what? On a global what? That means what? You have to what? You have to make sure you scale up. But Nigerians are not wanting in that area. In terms of qualifications, we have it. In terms of skills, we have it. Talent, we have it. And even attitude, we have it. The right mentality. The right mentality, we have it. We have it. And those are the things that give us what? That gives us advantage over what? Over, any other competitor out there in terms of what? We are all seeking on a global level. We are now seeking the same kind of job. We bring attitude. We bring in mentality into our job. A typical American child, is what? Is more technical, is more competency. They don't care about attitude. You understand? They don't care about attitude. But attitude becomes what? Becomes a competitive advantage. Okay, now there are 5 or 4. Let me say there are 4 what? 4 stages of what is called team development. We all know what a team is. I don't need to define what a team is. If I ask you now, you say a team is a bunch of people working together towards a common goal. Absolutely, you're right. So we don't need to go, into that. The only thing I need to emphasize about that is that a lot of people always assume because we have a bunch of people together, and I've already put in place of you, for example, if it's a business and you're just coming into that business, I've already told you, this is our vision, this is our value. Automatically what? Automatically you are a team. That's a big mistake. That's what is called a pseudo team. Everybody knows pseudo. That's P-S-E, as in philosophy, That's a fake what? A fake team. You understand? You are not a team. You are just a random group of people coming together, and you are still grasping to say, okay, what are we doing here? It's like we all find ourselves on the morning at Oshodi bus stop, 5 o'clock every morning. We are going to work. We are going to CMS. Are we a team? No. Because we enter the same bus, are we a team? No. Dr. Floyd, you're going to Abuja. Okay? Those guys that you're going to enter the plane with, you know them? When you get into the plane, and they say, oh, that's Dr. Floyd, that guy on the, are you already a team? No. But you're all going to Abuja. Does that make you a team? No. Okay. Now, that is what? That's the danger, because a lot of people always think because what? because maybe we are all, that's the meaning of a team. That's not the meaning of a team. The real meaning of a team and where leadership comes in is what? When you take this random group of people on the same plane with Dr. Fuad, and then you make them into what? Into a team that understands what? A vision, understand the value, and then everybody still have their own vision, their own goal, their own value, and then you bring that vision into one vision. That is now what? A team. Did you get that? No, let me bring it down to the smallest aspect of a team. I used to be a young man. And every morning, just as I told you, I get to the bus stop at Unikman. I'm not using that as, to get a bus to what? To CMS. In 1994, okay? And you get to the bus stop. You get to the bus stop, and there's another lady at the bus stop. The following day, that same lady at the bus stop. 1 month, that same lady at the bus stop. You're always entering the same bus. You've experienced that. Always entering the same bus, but you never told her hi. You never said hi. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. And you see each other every single day. At times, that's what happens in offices. That you never have what is called what? Relationship. Every relationship starts with what? Hi. Hello. My name is Yinka. Every relationship. And just because what? Because there's no relationship, how do you think they are going to work together? Now imagine these guys, because even marriages are like that. They still have what? Their own thing, their own goal. That goal has not been united. Okay? Because of time, I'll just go straight into this. So nowhere, I want you to just figure out, okay, where does this apply to me? It can apply to you, if you're thinking of starting your own business. Or you have your own business already, and you're going through what? You're going through what I call the what? The stormy stage. Or you're even already at the what? At the performing stage. And you're thinking, okay, let me scale up. What else can I start? Or maybe you're just what? All I came here is just to look for what? To look for a job. This is a knowledge you need to have. Because even in your career, you're going to go through what I call the stormy stage in careers. Yeah, in career. I was a young manager, HR manager. And a new MD came in that didn't know Pharaoh. The first day I went to my new MD, to introduce myself as the HR manager, the guy went this way. And he looked into my eyes and said, Yinka, no, he didn't. He didn't say anything. I don't like you. He's not in Nigeria. Nigerians, like, Mr. Olugbodi, I don't seem to, The guy looked into my eyes and said, I don't like you. That's what I call, career what? Stormy stage. Because you're just what? Getting into that position, something we challenge you. Okay? So let me just run through this and then I'll just focus on the stormy stage. Okay? But just pick your own wisdom, pick your own knowledge, pick your own learnings out of all this. Okay? The first stage, if you're going to achieve any task or you're going to what? You're going to do anything with the next person. The first stage is the what? Is the forming stage. That's very clear. Forming means, not the same form, that man they form, I they form. I need to clarify that, because the language has changed. Not that form. Form means coming together. Coming together. The recruitment stage. The first day they recruit you into that job that you've been seeking all your day. That's your forming stage. The day, for example, Access Bank say, hey, yes, we saw your qualification, you're good. And they what? And they put you on in their training school, what you're doing is what? You're in that forming stage. Okay? The day they said, okay, go to this department, you're in that stage. That means you're just joining that department. That department has been what? Existing. Or even what? A whole new department that they say, okay, you're all coming in, a whole new department, a whole new manager is forming. Or for some of you who are still what? Who are in the marriage stage here, the day you see that young man and that young man sees you, and he says hi, and he went, and do all the proposal the way you always do it nowadays. I always wish that's the way we, I did my proposal on in my jalopy car on top of Ujuelegba Bridge. We are almost getting to our house, and I've said that day I was going to propose. There was no ring. You say here? There was no ring. But see, I don't want to divert. I said, I know how to divert. Okay? So, as long as you're going to accomplish anything with another person, whether you have a business idea, and I need to mention that too. If you have a business idea, the fastest way and the safest way that you can what? You can make this idea to work. Look for a partner. Or just tell somebody. Have a confidence. Or tell somebody. Tell somebody that you can always walk to talk to. Pastor Tokes used to be that for me. I mean, I'm talking 25 years ago. That I can always walk to and say, hey, Brother Tokes, this is what I have in mind. And then from there, you just what? So if you have an idea right now, if you have a business idea, and you're battling with it, or you have it on the shelf. Some of us have ideas on the shelf. You know the meaning? That means you always have what? Ideas. You always have ideas. Before you finish one idea, another idea is coming. So what do? Just what? Just put that idea on the shelf. Write it in your jotter. Don't let it escape you. Some of you, your gifts might be what? Selling ideas. I sold the idea of a company that is worth like 250 million naira now. I just sold the idea, and the person started. 17 years later, they are number one across Africa. You understand? That's part of what we are talking about. So at times, if your job or your own call, and you're still looking for a job, your own is just what? You always have ideas. We call you crazy. A lot of people call my ideas crazy. But I'm using that idea to what? To chop now. You understand? And so, that stage is the coming together, the forming stage. Okay? That's the stage where people come together, you mobilize. But see, the next stage is called what? Everybody says storm. Storm. What picture does that connote? Chaos. Who else?
Stormy stage.
Stormy stage. What picture does that? Crisis. What else? Sorry? Difficulty. Obstacle. Drowning. No, you don't even, that's the latter hand. If you don't what? You start drowning. Or that's the what? That's the we call it the cut-off stage. That's the stage where you feel like, oh, this business is not working. Or this our business relationship is not working. Let's call it off. It's a stage where husband and wife says what? You have unreconcilable what? Differences. No, don't say God forbid. The other thing about this stage, and that's why I'm always particular about it, is the stage that is inevitable. The only way you can avoid that stage is if you don't what? If you're not going to do anything with anybody. If you just want to be on your own, you want to start business, do it on your own. You want to get married, marry yourself. That's the only way you can avoid what? You can avoid the stormy stage. Do you understand? Why? Because the stormy stage have to do with our differences. Look into everybody around you faces. Who looks like you? And that's the beauty of life. Our diversity is supposed to be the beauty of life. Our different talents, our different culture, our different language, supposed to be what had color to life. But it's always what is causing what? That storm. You understand? It's always what is causing that storm. Remember I said it's inevitable. What's the meaning of that? You have to go through it. And that's what I'm more particular about. Why? Because a lot of things fails at that stage. Businesses fails at that stage. When I started team building, I left Access Bank. And as I was leaving Access Bank, the same, even before going to Access Bank, I've already registered all this. It's on the shelf. So a month before I left Access Bank, I just brought it out of the shelf, dusted the whole thing up. The day I was leaving Access Bank, I was dropping my card from MD to the gate man. That this is the next thing I'm doing. That helped my what? That helped my forming. If the MD is saying, don't worry, my door is always open. But I didn't expect that what? I didn't expect any storm. All the money I got from Access Bank. My office was like this. Just this size. 2 training rooms. Then inner office. Spend the whole money on it. Believing that, then I saved 3 months salary for the staff. And believing that, every week, at least, I should be making 2 years. I didn't have any program. Nobody came into that hall to say they want to have a program.
2 years.
2 years. It's a 2 years rent. So, the 10 million went. What's that called? What's that called? Storm. So I went from, big boy access, to, Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I was tempted so many times. I had 2 offers of HR directorship. I got to the last stage, big insurance company. The last stage was with the chairman of the insurance company. And the man just was having a chat with me. And he said, young man, this is not your passion. Go for your passion. And I knew that wasn't my passion. Banking wasn't my passion. This was my passion. Talking in front of youth was my passion. Building things was my passion. And I stayed that time. And then one day, because you always know when you get out of of that stormy stage, if you can weather it. The stormy stage is a stage where you converse more. Because naturally it's a stage where you don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody because I just lost money now. I've made mistake. You understand? I don't want to talk to anybody because it looks shameful. Or you left paid employment. Believing you're going to start making millions just like that. You want to blow, boom. 2 years. Not a single paid program in the big hall like this. The tie alone was 4 million. This kind of tie. The day we were leaving, the lady that took over, I said, come and remove your towels. Stormy stage, guys. What business are you in? The stormy stage is the stage where you have to be very patient. Even if it's marriage. The stormy stage is the stage where you need to get to know to know about your business and know about your about your team members. You understand? If you don't know people, you can't work with them. The same guy that told me, I don't like you. The last day when I was leaving, 2 or 3 years later, the same guy was he gave me a beer hug and was like, Yinka, you're a good man. And I pretended as if As if I don't know what I was talking about. Because that guy pushed my what? He pushed my career. Your stormy stage, which is supposed to be what? Supposed to be a disadvantage stage, you can turn into a what? Opportunity. The same guy became the group MD for the whole of Africa. Later, he went to start his own fintech. He's a South African. He called me one day from South Africa and, Yinka, I'm starting this, I'm starting that, I'm flying to Ghana, can you meet me? And the first thing that came to my mind is, Chief, how many years ago you said you don't like me? The same guy that said he doesn't like you, I'm still working with him now. Or he's still giving me, he's the one calling me for a job, not, you understand? Because what? That stage can be your break stage or it can be your make stage. For you to go forward into the normal stage, if you can navigate that stage, you understand? If you can navigate that stage, I always call that stage the test. It's as if, you're going to go through what? An examination. And if you can bypass that stage, phew, 2011, first day of the year, January 2011, out of frustration, then there was no money. No more money, nothing there for accounts. I was washing my car out of frustration. Everybody was saying, neighbors, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And then my phone rang. And then I picked it up. And it was a British accent. Hey, is it Yinka? My name is John. I'm calling from United Nation office in Abuja. Okay. Can you fly down to Abuja on Wednesday? We're planning a retreat and we want you to. I said, TJ, no, they play this kind of joke. No, they play this kind of joke. The guy said, pardon? We need TJ. It's the first day of the year now. Because I thought it was one of my guys, one of my friends from UK, trying to what? Trying to prank me. And the guy was like, excuse me? And then I waited and maybe it's not TJ. Then I just, sorry about that. What did you say? That was what? That was the bam. You know when Olugbodi was saying, you see the roots. When the root is going deep down, especially when it comes to business, you don't see anything. You don't see anything. One thing I learned then is that it is time not to spend. Take that as a principle. I just want to share experiences. One thing I learned, I remember my brother told me right from day one that we launched the company, and he said, hey, young man, this is not the time to spend. But I felt like, I need to impress all my banker's friend. How can I go from being a big office and go and, stay in one small office, and not have staff? That day when the money finished, the first thing that came to my head, it is time not to what? Not to spend. Start hunting me, it's time not to spend. When the money has finished. And we start seeing, 2 years. That you can't pay rent. The landlord called me and said, where's my rent, young man? And you're like, sir, say, your house is too much of money. Go and pay my money. I have to move out of that big office. Then move to a very small office. And at the end of the day, I was paying what I was using to pay service charge in the other office was my rent. I don't know, that was the saving grace. You understand? But that day that guy John called, that was the day that business was pound. That day I knew I came out of that stormy stage. How do you navigate your stormy stage? How do you navigate your stormy stage? You need what? Patience. You need communication. You need relationship. You need what? Wisdom. Wisdom. So whatever you guys are after in this meeting, you're going to go through your stormy stage. Don't make the mistake I've made. That's the meaning of experiential learning. You understand? And those things, the right move I made, start making those moves now. Start making what? Those moves now. Thank you very much.
Afraid of your questions and queries. In fact, he knows the thought of your heart before you voice them. On day 6 of the Capstone 20th anniversary, the duo of Pastors Tokumbo and Fumi Johnson will be answering the scary questions believers are afraid to ask. To be a part of this no-holds-barred question and answer session, send your questions in via the Slido link. This unforgettable session holds 8:30 a.m. on Sunday, June 23, 2024 at the Capstone Resource Center, 25 McEwen Street, Alagomeji, Sabo, Yaba, Lagos. Hey, you deserve answers to those questions. Pastors Tokumbo and Fumi Johnson are looking forward to receiving you. Capstone at 20. It's the gathering of opportunities. Did you know?
My sins are forgiven. Through Christ, I am pure. Through Christ, I am righteous because Christ has become the atonement for my sins. So I declare, I am the capstone. And so I declare, I believe in covenant. I'll never break the trust of others in me, and I'll keep my promises to others. I am apostolic. I am here on a mission for God, and I will give my life's assignment everything that it takes. Pioneering is my call because God helps me to see beyond the ordinary. I am an innovator, so I challenge other people to see the world a little bit differently. I commit to shepherding, for God has given me a caring heart for other people, and I will always help those who are weak. I am sold on training, for God has called me to teach by example, and so I will freely share with other people everything the Lord has taught me. I embrace order, for God has called me to live intentionally, and so I structure my life, I structure my work, I structure everything I do for excellent delivery. Always I commit to networking others, for God has called me to collaborate with other people, to collaborate with other networks, and so I do not walk alone. I believe in equalizing, for God has called me never to look down on other people, and that's why I treat other people that have been made in the image and the likeness of God as equals, because I am the capstone. I am the stone that the builders have rejected, and I become the headstone. This is the Lord's doing. It's marvelous in my eyes. Come on, put your hands together and celebrate who you are. That's who you are. Hallelujah.
That God is not afraid of your questions and queries. In fact, He knows the thought of your heart before you voice them. On day 6 of the Capstone 20th anniversary, the duo of Pastors Tokumbo and Fumi Johnson will be answering the scary questions believers are afraid to ask. To be a part of this no-holds-barred question and answer session, send your questions in via the Slido link. This unforgettable session holds 8:30 a.m. on Sunday, June 23, 2024 at the Capstone Resource Center, 25 McEwen Street, Alagomeji, Sabo, Yaba, Lagos. Hey, you deserve answers to those questions. Pastors Tokumbo and Fumi Johnson are looking forward to receiving you. Capstone at 20. It's the gathering of opportunities. At the Capstone Church Without Walls, We have been called to be a part of your lives in your journey towards greatness. We have been called to serve you in ways that support your well-being and promote your good. In our community of faith, every soul matters as we are bonded together in covenant and enjoy the fellowship of one another. Serving and caring for others through different outreaches and other relevant life supporting channels is our way of life. At the Capstone Church Without Walls, we seek to help you discover purpose and thereby turn on your light to shine for everyone to see. We are the celebration company. We are never tired of celebrating your every win. Why should we not? We have God's love shed abroad in our hearts. What more? We hold the word of truth and the worship of Jesus in high esteem in our midst. It is where we draw fuel for life and relevance. So, welcome to the Capstone Church Without Walls, where we train, mentor, and release kingdom-class leaders into their God-sponsored purposes. You're most welcome.